Hello and welcome to Faithful to Race Across the World, where we are here to discuss Series 6, Episode 2 of The Leg. And we are leaving Italy and Greece behind. Where are we going?
Italy. We left Italy only last week.
Yeah.
We live in Greece and we're off to Turkey. And none
I
of the
left you to
contestants
say that.
None of the contestants respected the name change. They all continually called it Turkey throughout the episode.
I know. It's one of those things, though, isn't it? It's like the Gulf of America. It's hard.
course.
It's like your pronouns. Once you change them, it's hard to respect them.
Why should we respect anything? Yeah,
So-
no. It should be, although in this case, I think we should call it the Gulf of America. It's the right thing to do.
It's true. That's what Apple Maps says. So.
It's not Apple. No, Google changed the name.
Oh, it's not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Tim Apple.
But I think you'll find also that that Turkey is also now been renamed on all major maps, including Ordnance Survey.
Oh.
So there you go, something for you to look out for. But yes, what a exciting leg. Again, a very expensive leg. And as a lot of people quite rightly pointed out on the comments and people getting in touch with us, Europe is very expensive. And we've had many series where we've been outside of Europe on this Race Across the World, and people are now realising, people who've just first joined watching Race Across the World, that yes, Europe is very expensive.
Although it shows, because look how nice these trains and buses are.
I know, much better, eh? Much better.
The train that Molly and Andrew were on looked lovely, all shiny and glossy, looked like a Janet Jackson music video.
Is that what? That's a reference. Are you
Thank
referencing
you.
something?
Just that look on 2000s music videos where it was very
that gleam.
silvery,
Yeah.
gleamy bloom.
Well, it's
That's what
like
their trains look
It's like what apps used to have, like that shadow, or logos used to have their shadow, and then they went flat, and now they're all going shadowy again. If we're starting with Andrew and Mully, which we must, but
Who's Mully?
Mulligan, Andrew and Mulligan.
We're not starting there at all. We need to introduce ourselves.
Oh, of course.
My name's Ben. Hello.
Hello, my name's Alex, and of course, if you want to get in touch with us, you certainly can. You can go to our link tree, linktr.ee/faithful2, and on there it's got all the links where you can watch or listen to us on any of your favourite podcast apps. If you are watching us on YouTube or Spotify, you can comment underneath the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, tell all your friends, and if you like the podcast so much that you like to give us it's the equivalent of as if Pooja and Roshni had washed your car, a £5 tip, then you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, and on there you can give us a monthly or a one-off car wash equivalent.
Well, you say tell your friends on Spotify. Sheila has got in touch.
Hello, Sheila.
And commented saying, I can't wait for the series. I know Margot from the park dog walking. And what a fantastic person she is. Mark and Margot for the win. So Sheila, you haven't told me what dog you have, or I don't know what dog Margot has.
Why do you get in touch with us and leave out the most basic details, Sheila? Come on,
we
Sheila.
care about animals on this podcast.
I am worried that it's dog walking and not dogging.
Sheila, I know Margot from dogging in the park. What a fabulous person she is.
I mean, I would be happy for them.
Well,
Each to their own, as I've said on many occasions on our
we've got
podcast.
Mark's foot fetish. We've got Margot dogging in parks.
Andrew, who's obsessed with death and Mount Olympus.
Yes.
My favourite quote from Molly was, at some point, Daddy is going to drive me mad. We're 10 days
And he
in,
did.
And he did. And Chris and Joe were also driving each other mad. Again, we'll be discussing that very soon.
All going on. Darcy's early feels. We said who's everyone's early favourites. Early favourites, Katie and Harrison for Darcy.
I mean,
And
they're doing really well. They've got a
also-
good race going, haven't they?
Yeah, for Sharp Maxine. Also, Katie and Harrison is their early favourite. So they're
I mean, that's
popular.
only after episode 1. We're on episode 2, and they haven't lost any of their lead. They are 24 hours ahead of the 4th place. They're only half a day ahead, 14 hours
Only.
in front of Pooja and Roshni. Pooja and Roshni, 10 out of 10, the most caught up. They were 5th. They had that motivational speech on the boat when the 14s were together after Kate and Harrison had gone.
reset.
They said this is a reset.
Although I'm finding it difficult, Pooja and Roshni, because their edit, they're hardly on this episode, and I thought, well, what's happening here? And then they were second. It's like, well, why did you not show us any of this secondness?
Hang on, I think we saw plenty of Pooja and Roshni trying to find jobs on today's episode.
They just want to work.
It was just
They just want to do a good day's work, and no one's offering the young guys.
the
jobs
young
anymore.
ladies. They did.
I meant guys as in humans, the young adults.
Okay,
just can't
young
get a job.
adults. They're
You go out there
feisty.
with your CV printed. Your mum says, print your CV and just go into somewhere and they'll give you a job.
That's what
We have
happens.
evidence now
Yeah.
that doesn't happen because they always turn up and go, no.
Wash 5 cars and you got yourself a mortgage. It's as easy as that. If they stop buying those avocado toasts, that's all they need to
And
stop
those
doing.
ice creams.
And those, well, they deserve. I'm sorry, but I think of anyone who deserved an ice cream, they deserve the ice cream.
It did look
Katie and
good.
Harrison being a tight ass yet again, but he wasn't afraid to splash the cash on this episode because he upgraded their meal
To add some extra
by 50
ingredients.
cents. I think it was like an avocado. They upgraded 50 cents. Harrison's like, blow it.
I did
blow
say to
the
you
budget.
on the sofa that when Pooja and Roshni were getting all no's from asking for jobs, I did just say I would just fuck this and go for a coffee. And then they got an ice cream and I was like, yeah, I agree.
I was on there.
Go for it.
100% agree with them. I mean, it was funny seeing that when they were so determined to find a job, they got a job and then they were just very bad at it.
Also, the guy didn't tell them what to do. He just said yes to them wanting a job washing cars, and they started washing them. And he was in his office flicking through his paperwork, going, "They don't know how to wash cars."
No,
They're
he was
starting at
watching
the
through his
bottom."
window, and the producers were like saying, "So, describe how they're getting on with the car wash." He's like, "Well, here's the list of things that they're doing wrong." So you're quite right. He could have gone out there at any point. They said, to their defense, they said that the guy who owned the taxi car company, that all he gave them for washing the cars was a rag and water. So if he
No,
wanted,
that's what they said.
well, if
there was,
he-
there was
I'm
multiple
inclined to
buckets.
agree to take the side of Pooja and Roshni.
I'm not, because there's multiple buckets on that
No.
wall with different things in each bucket.
Well, like something from Funhouse,
A
like
sponge,
Gunge.
a sponge, a cloth.
No, they were given a ratty old a rag, and they were given dirty water.
Well, they earned 10
€10.
so can't complain.
Which, and to be fair, the guy said for a proper job, he gives them between 10 and 15 euros. So I would say, indirectly, he actually was congratulating them for giving him a proper job because he gave them 10 euros.
Once again, as well, with Katie and because we talk about them, Katie and Harrison were doing the budgeting. Well, Harrison was doing his favorite thing, his favorite hobby, budgeting.
His calculator
I
was...
really have fun doing this. Beep, beep, beep. I really feel sorry for Katie on this episode because she clearly just wants to have a little bit of fun.
Yes.
And he's there, and his solar-powered calculator, which is never out of battery.
I love that he's brought a calculator with
in
him.
his pocket.
I don't think
Look what I've got.
Has a contestant ever on Race Across the World brought a calculator with them?
know.
Harrison brought a calculator with him.
And the amount of use he's getting from that calculator, which is always there.
And it's a
in his
cheap
hand.
calculator.
He has a map, he has a calculator.
Yeah, £10 calculator that's bought. It's basically paid itself off.
Well, I feel sorry for Katie because she wants to have fun, and his mind won't allow him. He's very regimented, isn't he? They went through that on their Bits to Camera, where he plans, like they go for a night out. He plans how many drinks he's having, what he's having for the restaurant, where he's going to sit, what time he's going to go home,
Bed, yeah.
what he's going to watch on Channel 4 at 10:30 p.m. He knows it all.
I like that that's regimented though. I feel like he's a man of my own heart. Like I like to have things planned. I don't like predictability. But at the same
This is
time,
a bad show for him then, because you can't really.
is it though? Because he
Well,
is planning it to a T,
yeah,
and
I
it
was gonna
seems to be
say.
working. He's going every single step of the way. Katie's along for the ride. It does crack me up that whenever there's a job with Katie and Harrison, Harrison always ends up getting like the best deal.
I work night and day. That's Katie. I know. They cut to her. He was just there having a lovely time. Cut to Katie once more. Mop, bucket, sweat,
Yep.
pissed off face. She's
Harrison
there going,
pricing things with a price gun.
yeah, I'm having a lovely time. I've got a calculator.
Yeah, well, that's why he was enjoying it because it was number related. And then when they had to stand at the door to welcome people into the shop, Katie was lovely. She was like going, "Oh, hello, obviously in Greek.
That was ridiculous.
Hello."
That was
And
like
Harrison was
walking-
like, "I've had enough of this. Give me that pricing gun."
it was like walking into Lush. It's like, you don't have to say welcome to everyone, please.
I think it's lovely and
that makes me
polite.
want to leave the shop when people do that. When you walk in, how can I help?
It's an embrace.
And
It's
when
a
you
warm
leave,
hug.
and they say bye, and it's like, no, just let me walk in, look, and leave without buying anything.
I love it. It's like when you go to a restaurant and someone drops a plate and everyone goes, "Hey!"
That's not the same.
It is the same because it feels like it's a community. You're joining a community, and
No.
and that's
Pestering.
why, and hence why Harrison ended up spending an extra 50 cents because the woman in the cafe said to him like, "Yeah, make it bump it up a bit, make it feel good, make it feel good." And Harrison was like, "You sold me, and that's because he just worked a shift in retail.
And that was him loosening up as well.
That was him
He
listening
said,
up.
"Did you notice that my top button's
Yes.
undone? I bought an extra bit for my sandwich."
The problem is that the fact he had to point it out to Katie kind of then neglected, took away from the fact that he was saying that he had loosened up a bit. I feel like that was something he shouldn't have done. He should have just acknowledged it in his own mind. Let it just whirl for a moment. Let Katie embrace it herself. Let Katie discover it.
She might not have noticed it because it was so... The looseness was still quite tight, so she might not have noticed. Which sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing.
They're siblings, Ben. Let's not.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
They also helped a fisherman. Again, Harrison was complaining because some fish cuts went on him. Katie said, I've got some wipes. Harrison was like, that's not good enough. I need a jet wash. Pushner and Roshni came running in. Rag, bucket of water. €10, please.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that job. I always feel bad for the animals on those jobs, even though it has to happen.
The fish.
They're animals, aren't they?
And they're aquatic. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. When you say
Little
animal,
animals.
I just think of all the cats that I saw in today's episode. So many cats. I just wanted to rescue them all. They were so cute. And the one who was going for the sardines, and like, get away. And it was like, ooh, meow, sardines.
What about the fun moment with Mark and Margot? Because all the teams were clustered together in a 15-minute bundle. And they were all trying to hitchhike. Margot and Mark were the only ones who were able to hitchhike. Thanks to Margot. I think it's Margot's personality helped. Do you go dogging?
Yes, Margot's dogging came into play here, and
I've
she
been
was
in
able
many
to...
boots, car boots. I can get them in.
Nomi, their friend, fellow dogger, was ready to pick them up straight away.
So they were the only ones who got a free ride, and everyone else had to get the bus and the coach. But and then Margot just fell asleep for about 20 hours. Every time the camera went to her, she was asleep.
She tired herself out, didn't she? She had too much fun in the first leg dancing on that ferry. Mark really found... I'll tell you what, Mark, I was really worried was going to be really staged and really boring. But he found him... I thought the conversation that Mark had with Nomi...
That's what I was going to say, because I think Margot being asleep, in a way, helped him. It forced him to sort of open up and do more things. So he found a bond with the fellow...
They had very similar stories to tell, didn't they? So Mark and Nomi had both... Nomi was the lady who picked them up after Margot flashed, and then she took them to the bus station.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so it was never on camera, but we've heard otherwise. Production gets in touch all the time. And because they had to wait, Nomi was like, oh, you know what? I'll just drive you there. Free of charge as well. No petrol money.
I know. She was like, it's not that far. It's only an hour and 40 minutes.
Shocking. I know. Just completely out of my way. Because originally Nomi picked them up because one, she said she felt sorry for them. But two, she said it was literally next to my house. So I'll take you there. But anyway, Nomi was clearly wanted to have a chat. She was up for a nice day out with Mark and Margot. Margot disappointed everyone by falling asleep. But Mark and Nomi had a very similar story to tell. They both lost someone very close to them 3 years ago. Nomi's mum had died. Mark's wife, Julia, had died. And it was lovely seeing this almost synchronicity happen between them both. They were able to share this story together, but not a sad story. They made it a fun story and like a happy story. Like what these people put into their lives was more important than to think about what they've lost by not being there.
It's just mad. Like, and also they have like the same career. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's like multiple things which were the same, which is really like that. There's stuff like that just doesn't. It feels like it's set up, even though it wasn't. But like because it's like.
Well, if we were talking to AI, they'd say it's just the universe laughing at you.
I mean, like the production and stuff. It's like, oh, she was just put there from production. That's what it felt like. A bit like
it's just a happy coincidence.
Jury duty.
Well, yeah, a little bit, I suppose. But no, I feel like it was a happy coincidence.
Yeah, it was. It's just mad that stuff like that happens. So yeah, they were having a good time. They went
to the monasteries.
Yes.
So Mark geeked out on the monasteries.
Yeah,
Margot was listening. Yeah, was listening, but not taking any of it in.
We've all been there.
Margot was all right, like completely like zoned out on this leg. Like she was, I think it was weird.
She had her sunglasses on, her eyes weren't open. Glass of wine.
Oh, a glass of sangria and one.
But Mark was having a lovely time talking about monasteries and walls, and although it was quite amazing how they built those things.
It was outstanding.
Stuff like that again. Yeah. It's like I don't understand.
Aliens.
And I don't want I don't want to understand, but like how did they do it? And why can't we make things like that now? Where did we lost the ancient art, didn't we?
I don't think
The ancient texts, where are they?
What we've lost is we've lost any kind of romanticism or artisticness in housing and
Don't
anything
get
like that.
gargoyles
Nowadays,
anymore.
everything's just, if you look at houses today, even you, when we drive past, like, okay, maybe this is UK
New builds.
centric, but yeah, you go past a new build in the UK and it's just like, that's just another new build. You know what I mean? But then if you look at old Victorian, Edwardian houses in the UK, like they are beautiful.
It's not even just houses, even lampposts used to be cool.
Phone boxes
No,
used to be called. Post boxes.
Door knockers.
Door
They used
knockers.
to be cool. They used to
Yeah.
be gargoyles, all sorts. We lost it all.
Bring back the good old fashioned knocker.
Mm.
Am I right, Margot?
Mark.
Bring back your knockers.
So yeah, they were having fun.
Yes.
Came third. They went one up. They were fourth, another third. So they're doing the trajectory of increasing every time. until the
Everyone's going
final.
up, and the two who are at the top are going down. So it's interesting, isn't it, that that's kind of happened as well? Because Kush and Joe,
Yeah, they had a bad one.
nightmare of a leg, a nightmare.
And I was
Absolute
convinced last
terrible.
week that they were going to be the winners.
Mm.
So that serves me right because next week's the elimination.
Yes, it seems early. But then
Wow.
I feel like I also
Now
say
we
that
know
every
why.
series. Yeah. Well, I feel like I say that every series. Like, oh, it's a bit early this time. It's a bit early this time. But this does feel a bit early this time. But then I suppose we'll look back and we'll be like, oh no, it was week 3 last time.
Well, I don't want to be a fool, but it feels like Kush and Joe have to come last because there was a dramatic graphic on screen which said 350 kilometers away, and they were still miles away.
Well, 350 kilometers away.
Yeah,
There.
and it was like they were still had
200
like, it was
maybe.
like another 20 hours, and it's like I don't know. They didn't have a good time. They were very relaxed. I mean, they keep getting jobs where they get fed, watered swimming pools.
Well, the ocean. The ocean is their swimming
last
pool.
week they also did that
Yeah,
as well. It's like they're having just a jolly on their jobs, and then this one was a bit of a reality check.
Well,
because-
they messed up.
yes, the evil men, the men who have the nice relaxed lifestyle, were like, ha ha ha, we're all muscly and calm.
Who needs the gym? We
just
eat sardines.
fish."
Yeah.
And they were loving it. And then they broke the news that actually what you were doing this whole time when you were playing in the sea, you should have been sleeping because you're actually up all night
Yeah.
washing our boat. Which one is it? Boat.
Well,
Looked
you
like a
saw them
boat.
washing the boat, but I'm sure there must be more to it. Surely that doesn't take all night. They can't take 8 hours to wash
No.
one boat.
And it was a bit. I mean, the man who owned this thing was very relaxed and chilled. He was like, "Yeah, no problem."
He's everyone. He's the guy that there's always one in every town. Like everyone knows him, and he said he's like got 3 generations. So his grandfather was a fisherman. His dad was
Fisherman.
He is a
Fisherman.
exactly, and he
And you will become a fisherman.
and you
Kush
two
and
boys
Joe.
will be a fisherman. And he was very proud of his town as well, and that's really sweet to see. But in a race, it's not
Yeah.
helpful.
I mean, a short car journey for 10 minutes going to take 50.
When he was giving them the tour, he was showing them the coffee houses, he was showing them the patisseries, he was showing them the butchers, he was showing them where he sells his fish. He was showing them everything, and they were like going, "Oh, we really do need to get to Istanbul." And he was like, "Yeah, of course,
30
I'll
minutes.
take you there." And then he was like, literally just like, "Oh, here's a train, bye." So he didn't even help them, because sometimes you see it on Race Across the World that these people they're
Like the woman with Marco Mark, just drive them
drive
endlessly
them
for
there.
free.
Exactly. They sometimes they take the burden away. So it's okay to kind of like take your foot off the pedal a little bit. But Kush and Joe really didn't have a lot of luck in that regard.
No. And it got worse as well. Because
Because
Joe-
everyone thought that Joe was was famous. At the bus station, everyone was like, "Oh, let's have your
You're
Instagram."
really cool. Can I have your Instagram?
He
So
was signing things as well. Did you see that?
Was he?
Yeah, he was signing. People were like handing him pieces of paper.
No,
It was
that
like,
was they were
Joe.
they were writing down their Instagram handles because they wanted to follow each other.
I don't know. I think Joe was letting fame get to his head.
I mean, it was a bit. I don't quite know what was happening, on, but Kush was getting really annoyed because he was going back and forth like a blue ass fly. He was going up and down, sorting out 4 different jobs at once, trying to get accommodation, train tickets, this, and that. And then Joe was just there signing autographs, swapping Instagrams.
He said
with
to
the boys,
everyone,
the
"Oh,
girls.
I promise when we get home, I'll like
I'll
all of
follow
you.
back.
Yeah,
I
I'll
wonder
follow
if he
you all
has,
back."
but he hasn't. He just wants his followers up, but not his following to
Yeah.
go up.
Kush has dropped him as an Instagram friend.
Why did none of them ask Kush for his?
Well, because
Was it 'cause
Kush
he
was
was
busy
moving?
actually. No,
They're
because
like,
Kush.
your vibes up.
You're clearly not
All
Instagram
you care about
famous.
is hostels and bus rides.
Kush, to be fair to Kush, he was stressing out like heck. He was trying to find the quickest bus he could get. He went to literally every single terminal. It was like, "What time's your Istanbul bus? What time's your Istanbul?" All that. Well, Joe was like messing around, titting about, and then he said,
JO at Insta. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like Joe wasn't being very helpful, and then later on, when they were sat in the taxi, they had Joe had a confessional, and Joe then said that Kush was getting really anxious and on his nerves. And
So
it's
I just stayed
hang on,
quiet and didn't
Joe.
reply.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Joe. I think you should have owned this a little bit. I think you should have kind of realised that actually you weren't being very helpful. And I feel like this is breaking them already. It feels a shame, but it does feel like their journey is coming to an end quick.
Yeah, but then that's what I mean. Like the edit makes it seem too obvious, so I'm guessing they're not. But I don't know. I don't know how they can catch up because they're so far behind. I don't know.
Well,
They are young.
They are young. They run
19.
free. Keep their teeth nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just it feels a shame because normally the young ones are the ones that do really well because they see this as an adventure. And I think Kush, it's weird. I think Kush and Joe have embraced it the right way, but they've gone too far into embracing it as an adventure, and it just doesn't feel like they're doing the right things. Like they keep forgetting to do the right things, and they're not old enough yet to kind of like that guy in Greece who was like what they did the sardine fishing with. Like if they'd asked the right questions, they would have realized that they had to go and sleep. But they just said, "Oh, go for a swim," thinking that they meant go out all day for a swim. Then the guy took them around the town. And yes, of course, you should be proud of the town you've grown up with. But if they were a bit older, if they were Mark and Margot, for instance, Margot especially, I reckon, would have probably been like, that's all great, but it's lovely. Thank you for showing us. We can move on now. But Kush and Joe were being too polite.
Yeah.
And so I worry for them. It's a shame. It's a shame because I like it.
Don't write them off yet.
No, I won't. But
I mean, Molly and Andrew probably appeared the least in this episode. They just had their Mount Olympus thing.
they did, but they had some zingers. Some real zingers.
She was. I mean, it was stupid that they went to the Mount Olympus. I understand where she was coming from. It's like it was way out of they're on a race, and I was like, and we're doing a 10-hour hike, and it's like you have to get up and down there and then back onto it's like that's too much. Go somewhere.
Okay, Harrison.
Go somewhere off the beaten track.
Do you want a calculator?
Yes. So I understood where Molly was getting annoyed there because it's like, well,
Yeah, but
this
you
is
have
a
to
bit of a
enjoy
tourist track as well.
yourself.
Yeah, but go to somewhere which is unseen. Like it's not on the map.
Mount Olympus is of all the places which is considered touristy. I would say that's one of the most insanely beautiful.
Yeah, but it's a lot of time.
Yeah,
It's a lot of wasted time.
I
there.
bless him, and he's a geography teacher who's never left the classroom. So he
Clearly.
wants to, be able to go back to his class and say to them all, "Well, I went to Mount Olympus yesterday, and it was this."
He has to make that time he's booked off worth it.
Yeah, that's true.
He has to prove to the school it was worth letting me have that time off.
Do you reckon he did it as like a kind of his reason for taking time off was because it was educational?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I
he
can
had to do it in term
update
time.
my lesson plans.
Look, Andrew, you have to do all this in term time. Oh God!
And there was a bit of peril when they asked those people to book tickets for them. No internet, refresh. The money's gone. We don't have a confirmation.
Gave him €80 on trust.
But they got it, so there wasn't really much peril.
It was peril because
was,
then there was
but
that
not
horribly long, unnecessary pause by production, and then you had the almost comical yes. Hey, just to confirm, do you have our tickets? Dum, 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 dum. Yes. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah, so there you go, they're fourth, so they're not doing the best. That Mount Olympus really messed
Took
them up.
the piss, but Mark went to look around monasteries. Why do you not just point that out?
Because that's not as much as going up a huge mountain and a hike. That hike bit is a lot of time. Up, down, back on coach, back somewhere else, back onto. There's too much. Do you think Katie and Harrison? Well, not Katie. She's not doing it, but Harrison. his money crunching is breaking Race Across the World. The unwritten rules of it.
I do. I think Harrison has somehow found a way of winning Race Across the
Because
World.
one episode being 20 hours ahead of people is like, okay, that's happened before.
It happens, aye.
But 2 times.
Still
and
24 hours ahead.
Working is where they're working a lot more than others.
They do loads of jobs as well.
They're not doing like the fast route, but they're still way ahead and they have loads of money left.
They're not spending a lot of money. They're earning far more money. Harrison knows exactly the statistics of how much he can and cannot spend. I feel like he's already taken into account the very last leg where you just spend your way to the finish.
Yeah.
You have to. You just have to. Yeah,
Do you think episode 4, the calculator's going to go mysteriously missing by production.
And the map.
Yeah,
and
like,
Katie.
And half the wallet.
There'll just be a ransom note saying Katie's been kidnapped. Give us €200. And Harrison's like, oh, hang on, I don't know if I can afford that.
Wait 10 hours. So I feel like his budgeting, which is like, people say, oh, we're budgeting, but they don't ever really stick to it. He's sticking to it, and it's proving that you can get like way ahead of everyone.
The jobs, I know, but the jobs as well. That's the point. That's the point. Is they're playing a really good game. They're playing a really good game.
But I'm wondering if production are being like, well, you're kind of breaking this, because they've not been able to do like who's going to get their first like dramatic edit, have they really?
Well, this episode, what they did was they didn't even bother showing Katie and Harrison arrive, and they just made it the excitement who's going to be second and third. That was the cliffhanger, essentially. Well, not the cliffhanger, but the exciting ending.
But they can't edit it. Normally they do a really exciting edit. You see them all running, but they can't do that. 2 episodes in a row now, they've not been able to do it. My heart's not been flustered this series yet.
I mean, there's still time. There could be like you say, that it happens to the best of them where something major will happen. But I genuinely would love to see if Harrison would like pay good money to like help Katie out of a hostage situation, or whether you just think, I'll do it for Katie, I'll carry on. I'll earn the 20 grand and we can split it.
So before we go then, who are your bets on eliminated next episode?
I have to say, from the edit, it looked like Kush and Joe. I don't want any of them to go there because I actually really love them all. Normally, by this point, I'm a bit like, I already know their story now, so I don't really need to know more. But like Pooja and Roshni, I'm fascinated by them. They're literally like,
they need more screen time.
They need more screen time because they like seem to be like falling them. They seem to be falling upwards. You know what I mean? Like they just seem to be like accidentally doing well.
And I mean, even just them taking a picture of a selfie on the digital camera, they were like, "Oh, we look happy," like it was an accident.
Yes. How do we do that?
Just tumbling across the world and it's all going.
I just love it. Well. I just love their attitude.
I'm wondering if Molly and Andrew might be a surprise elimination.
I hope not, because I really want to see Molly lose it with her dad. Like that one line just made me think, I'm on tenterhooks. I'm now waiting for Daddy to go drive her mad. And Mark and Margot, again, they seem to be amicable right now, and I feel like it's just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. Although we have had lots of their story. I said that last week, but again, we got a lot of the story again. So I'm wondering if, I don't know, it's trying to predict what production is doing with their edit. Really, you shouldn't think that. No. You should just watch it and guess. So yeah.
Is there anyone you think will?
I'm going with Kush and Joe, but they've got you see 19. They can just go.
They got sardines and youth on their side.
They can go. I'm wondering if Andrew is going to be the drag on Molly, and he's going to
dare you.
It's going to be one Mount Olympus too many, and they're going to come last.
Well, what can you do in Turkey? I forget. And where would they go from there?
You can do all sorts.
We've been there years ago. That's when you were being flirted by the guy who worked. I remember in the hotel.
You said this last series, I think. Well, and I wasn't being flirted by.
Mm-hmm. And you accepted it as well. We were very young in our relationship. We were less than a year together.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah, you did. And then you came back like...
Came back with €20.
Took a leaf out of Margot's book. Yeah. But I'm
going to put a bet on Molly and Andrew being the surprise eliminated.
Well, I say Kush
and Joe's youthfulness will get them spurring on. They can go all night.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully it will just be a bluff and there'll be no one eliminated, and there'll be all 5 teams still going on for past episode 3. But of course, you need to get in touch with us and let us know exactly who your favourites are right now. What moments have
Who do you think's going?
What moments have made you laugh on the last couple of episodes? And you can do that by going to our Linktree, LINKTR.
Have you ever been dogging like Margot?
That's a question that we need to know.
It's a question of the series.
Linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2. On there, you can find us, our video podcast, which is on YouTube and Spotify, or listen to us on any of your favorite podcast apps. And if you are watching us in video forms, you can comment underneath the video with whether you've been dogging. Likewise, you can get in touch with us directly. All our social media links are on there. And of course, if you want to help us monetarily, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful. And on there, you can give us a £5 one-off or monthly donation, which helps the podcast grow.
Lovely. Right. So we'll see you all again next week. Until then, goodbye.